Blissfully Unaware.
I'm loving the vibe.
Yeah,
We fixed it, I feel like.
new studio, new place that we didn't mention in the last podcast.
Yeah, we're in a new spot.
We got Harpoon IPAs this time in the nice little Oasis cup.
Yeah,
Shout out Austin, Texas.
We're bumming it right now in our mugs, but you know, we got our fucking gear.
It's kind of nice.
It's nice.
We got the boys joining us.
Yeah.
I don't know if the audience can see. We got our little Shali Llama. Well, I guess it's a Shali elephant, but yeah.
Shali Mama.
All right, so I know I think I sent you this article, but I was reading this thing, and I'm taking a psych class, intro to psych class right now, and we're talking about conditioning, right? So this shit's like super, super interesting. There was this woman that wrote this article called "What Shamu Taught Me About Marriage," and
Okay.
I was I telling you about this?
I don't think so.
Okay, it's fucking cool. So she was a journalist by trade, right? And she was gonna do this piece on exotic animals. And she went to, I think it was like SeaWorld down in Florida, and she was talking to this exotic animal trainer. And she was like, okay, like, you know, show me a little bit about your job, show me about how you like deal with the animals, how do you get them to listen to you?
Yeah.
So this guy's going through and he's like, well, we approach all of them from a very different perspective. So the first thing he does is learn a little bit about like, you know, how that animal might act in the wild, what the normal social structures are, what like, you know, what they like, what they respond to, are they pack animals, do they like to be dominant, do they need to be dominated, and then once they kind of get that, then they can start approaching the training for different ways. So obvious things that we would all kind of know, like you want a dolphin to do something, you're going to give it a fish after it does the right thing. So she obviously knew that, but she was observing what he was doing, this trainer, as he was like training up the dolphins, and every time the dolphin would start playing around or not doing what the trainer wanted the dolphin to do,
Yeah.
he wouldn't yell at the dolphin, he wouldn't like look pissed off,
Yeah.
just blank expression, don't acknowledge the dolphin, and then like 5 seconds later, all right, let's try that again. So this is something called LRS, least responsive syndrome, or no, least reinforcing syndrome, and she noticed it like works on more than just animals. So the whole thing is like you don't want to make any kind of like correlation between response and behavior, because even if you give something like a negative response, they can still like not on purpose reinforce that behavior, because like, you know, I could say something like it's a bad response from you, but then I might be like a sick fuck who kind of likes the fact that you're having like a negative reaction to it, and then I go, oh, I'm gonna push that button again.
Or like an angsty teen who like wants to piss off their mom.
Dude, exactly. Or like pissed off lovers where it's like, you know what, you're gonna be a bitch, I'm gonna like keep doing this.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what she did with her husband. He's like, she called him like the most exotic animal, the modern American husband, and she said that she started using this like LRS system to start like training him up. So he would
Oh my god.
he would leave like clothes and stuff on the floor, and she used to just like, you know, bitch at him about it, like, hey, what are you doing? Like, just throw it away. And he obviously wouldn't respond to that, because it's so easy as a guy to just go, okay, my wife's being like hormonal, or she's just being like a nag.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Or she's cleaner than me and I don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
So she started, instead of nagging him about it, she just wouldn't respond. She just walk over it, step over it. But then we'd get to a point where there was enough clothes on the ground where he would get up and throw them out. And if he threw one into the dirty laundry, she'd be like, oh, thank you. 2, she'd like give him a kiss. 3, you know, she's like, give him a hug, like, oh, love you. After 4, like, more intense reinforcement. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of thing.
Oh my god, that's so crazy.
Really cool though. So after she's doing that for like 2 months, he's not leaving clothes on the floor anymore. And then she starts doing this like every time he's trying to find his keys. He's like, you know, spinning out of control, like, oh, where the fuck is it? Like, you gotta help me find them. And instead of like joining him on the hunt after that, she would just go, Okay. He was like, I lost my keys. Okay. Not look at him, not engage, and then he'd find it, and he'd go, oh, found my keys. And she's like, good. And then after a little bit, it was no longer like a morning ritual to like go crazy on the key hunt. It was just, all right, he found his keys after looking around for a little bit. So she was systematically taking these behaviors that she hated and made her like love her partner a little bit less and just getting rid of them. So, yeah, she said something in the article that I thought was really fascinating, where she was like, the only time that you can really change an exotic animal is once you really understand what makes it different from you, and you can get enough distance that you can like respect that. So that goes for humans too. Like, we're all kind of exotic animals. We're not like a dog pack where, you know, you're going to do exactly what I'm going to do, and we're going to do exactly what somebody else is going to do.
Yeah, we all want to be different.
Yeah, unavoidably. Even
That's
if we
so
don't
interesting.
want to be different, like we have to be.
Yeah.
And like having that kind of patience for like a romantic partner, 100% the toughest thing to do.
Yeah.
Especially
for
if you're
sure.
living with them.
And when you're with them all the time.
Yeah.
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 Dude, that's so interesting.
Isn't it?
That's like one of the things I was thinking about when you said that was I was on TikTok the other day, and there's this whole account that is this dude who trains dogs, and his whole like account is called like one word training or some shit. I butchered it, but it's like essentially like you only say it once. It's like say it once dog training or something like that. So you say come, and if he doesn't come, you don't say shit. Instead of saying come here, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing, right?
That's cool.
So it's like applicable, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's interesting that you read an article, because I saw the same thing just with less science and more like TikTok. But what I'm always
art
like,
echoes art.
yeah. Dude, it was cool when he said that. And too, the other thing that you were saying about,
I gotta lose this. I'm listening.
yeah,
I'm
dude,
sorry.
you're good. What were you saying? She said something like, she said something in the article that was really cool. Oh, I remember.
The distance from.
Yes. Dude, when you're close to somebody, like when you're really close to somebody, sometimes you're blind to like the right thing to do.
It's hard not to take everything personally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And sometimes on the other end of the spectrum, it's hard to like see faults sometimes too. Like, you know what? Like when you're like, oh, it's my mom. Like you never notice that your mom like does this thing, and I'm like, oh no, like she's just always done that, so I've never know. Or my dad or my girlfriend or whatever, like you've seen that on TV maybe before, where it's like, yeah, all the friends are like, this bitch is so annoying, but he doesn't see it because he's in love with her or something like that.
Right. It's like you're conditioned no matter what. So that's where like the ethical argument comes in here. It's like, can you do that? It's like, yeah, you can. Like you can no matter what. But also like, so this woman within the article told her husband after a while, hey, I'm doing this on you. I'm treating you like Shamu. Like, and he was like, he took it well. He was like, okay, that's kind of cool. I'm shocked I didn't have a response. Like,
I think guys are simple like that.
Yeah. Imagine if you did.
Yeah, I know. I don't think if like you did that to a woman, they would have a good response most of the time. Not to like make generalizations, but like I think they would be a lot more upset about that. But probably just because of like, I don't know. I think they would just take it differently, but I could be totally wrong.
I mean, it varies person to person.
Yeah.
I know if I did that to the person I'm with right now, I'd get clocked. For sure.
She wouldn't be fucking with that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's so funny. 'Cause I was thinking of that when you were talking about it too. Like, okay, is this like an okay thing to do? But it's interesting how like we just decide what's okay. And I feel like it's in the way that you label it.
Yeah.
Right? Everything is in the way that you like frame it and like sell it to somebody.
Right.
So it's like, I'm using this technique that they use on Shamu, or I'm using a psychology trick that I learned in college that's supposed to help build relationships.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So
dude, I really like that.
So it's like, it's probably, you're doing the same thing, but you can call it whatever you want.
Dude, that's the interesting thing. Fucking everything is like this. Everything is like this. Just having the right kind of framing for things. Like, we were talking last episode about like the red planet, blue planet stuff, like the struggle with that.
Yeah.
And I've been like deeply considering over the past like few days, like, you know, what's my goal right now? What am I trying to do?
Mm-hmm.
And then like just talking to different people and realizing how beautifully they frame the same kind of struggles that I'm trying to like intellectualize almost. Because it's like, I can't just say, you know, there's this obstacle in front of me. We need to reason it out of the way. Because like that's goofy. It's way better like what you're just saying about framing it just in slightly different words. That completely like shifts the whole thing to, okay, now this is something that's benefiting me rather than something I need to overcome. This is something that's like boosting me from behind instead of being a hill that I have to like run up. And like I've noticed that with everything. You can apply that to like personal like obstacles. You can apply that to like lifting, like
everything.
Prodigy in a sport, like academic ability, all these kinds of things. I was having I'm sorry, I feel so
keep going.
I'm just like, I'm so on this recently. I had this talk with my girlfriend this weekend where we were talking about like how our brains work, right? Just like digging into like, what is your conscious stream of thought like? And I was saying for me, I feel like oftentimes it's just like, you know, thought circles. So like when I get into something, I'm like, oh, okay, I know that this exists. Why is that like that? And then why is this like this? And then it just goes down the list. And she was like, so I was going on like a rant toward her. And I was like, hey, like, what are your inputs on this? She's like, dude, I don't think that way. Like, you think only in thoughts, and you say you don't have a visual component. She's like, I only have a visual component. So we're sitting there, I'm like, all right, well, walk me through that. And she's like, well, right now I'm thinking of this situation where I'm standing at the base of a mountain, and you know that stairway that goes up to like the clouds and stuff in China? I'm thinking of that and the cave that's around it. But then there's probably a hut or a monastery at the top, and then there's probably like some kind of like autumn colored forest around it. And odds are there's like a cemetery at the bottom of it, and there's probably people bringing rickshaws up it. It was just like, she was constructing this landscape that felt rich when she was describing it to me. I was like, that just came out of nothing? She's like, yeah.
It sounds like she's intensely visual.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, I thought that was so fucking cool, because then I was thinking cool. Like, how else do other people have like streams of consciousness?
That's such an interesting question to ask your significant other. Like, when you said that, I was like, I want to ask Carolyn that. Like, I wonder what she would say if I asked her, like, okay, what's going on when you think of this? Like, think out loud the chain that happens. That's really cool, dude. And like in the framing thing, like we were talking about, going back to the framing thing, like, this book that I was reading that we talked about before, about this Miracle Morning book. He talked about like, that's part of the affirmations thing, is like the reframing things. So he says like, one of his examples was, I was the worst at remembering things. I always had the worst memory. I never remember people's names. Like, I never remembered things I had to do. I had to make down all these notes. He said every morning I just told myself I had a good memory, and then eventually I believed it, and then eventually I just remembered things, which is amazing.
How quick did that?
It takes time.
Right.
He said it took time. He didn't give an exact timeline, but like,
wow,
the power of that.
Yeah. What else could you do that with?
Everything.
Like,
Everything. And that's how I try to see the world. Like, I'm not like always, I'm not good at it all the time, but sometimes I feel like, okay, reframe. Like, and that's what I try to say too. Sometimes like, zoom out. Like, okay, like reframe and zoom out is like one and the same. It's like, you're right now on this like microscopic level. If you just go, whoop, like all of a sudden you can see the million other things that are happening, and then, oh, this is perfect. Do you mind if I keep going here?
No, keep going on the segue.
Also, when you are finished with that, let me know.
Yeah.
Let's refill.
I'm getting toward the bottom.
No worries. So, on the whole zooming out thing, there's this thing at this school, right?
Yeah.
And like, we talk a lot about it at pre-camp. You might have heard it like as an NSO term. And basically what you do is like, you're doing an activity. Let's do it. You're doing an activity and a trust activity where you're talking to people you don't really know and they're telling you something personal.
Yeah. And
one of the sayings at this school, and it might not be just like a solely this school thing, is everyone's 10 is their 10. Do you know that saying? So
it sounds familiar, but like describe that.
It basically means you and I are both coming out with something that is bothering us.
Yeah.
Or something that happened to us. And your mom died, but I'm just like having a really bad semester academically.
Yeah.
The saying goes,
oh, I see.
Your 10 is just like my 10.
Right.
Right? Because, so I want to take this thing apart. The positives of that are you respect and empathize with people's struggles, regardless of how big or small. Right. That's a positive that comes out of that. But I'm also like not super into that saying, because when everyone's 10 is everyone's 10, it eliminates perspective completely.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
I do, but it's like, I don't know, I really fuck with that. The everybody's 10 is everybody's 10, I think is good in terms of like interpersonally. Mm-hmm. But like, it's exactly what you're saying. Like, if somebody's mom dies, I'm gonna be a little bit more there for you than if somebody gets a 60 on a test.
Yes.
Which might be fucked up, but I don't want to speak for you, but I'm sure that you're saying this as in like, that 10 is, be there for that person and meet them where they're at.
Yeah.
But
that
you're
makes
not
sense.
you're not gonna like, buy a souffle and bring it to their door if they get, that bad grade, but you will if their brother dies in war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's what I worry about. I worry about, like, I just feel like that saying needs like a precautionary, like, following sentence.
Dude, the only reason that it needs that is because people get entitled. People get entitled to think that they somehow have a worse struggle than other people.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, though. Like, that's a real concern.
Okay.
That so many people are entitled.
It's hard not to be.
It's so hard not to be. But
like,
this is the thing. It's like, if you don't make that distinction that says, like, because then all of a sudden it's instead of you and I hear that and we go, okay, yeah, that's cool. Like, I really care about this person and I respect how much of the struggle, how much their struggle is impacting them. That's cool. Somebody else hears that and says, oh, well, good. Like, now we're in this war where it's like, I don't know. I just feel like it creates a sense of entitlement sometimes where people are just like, everyone's 10 is their 10.
Yeah.
And then it's like, no, I wish you wouldn't victimize yourself now, because when it's about somebody else, maybe this is a distinction. When it's about somebody else and you're like, their 10 is their 10, that's good.
I think that's it.
But then when it's about you and you're like, my 10 is my 10, maybe that's bad.
That's with everything though. People get shit conflated, but then it's so easy also, and this is something everybody falls prey to. You can say you don't, like, you're bullshitting. Everybody interprets through their own personal lens. It's impossible not to. So, like, if you hear that, the first thing you're gonna do, like, the first thing isn't, oh, their 10 is also my 10. It's my 10 is their 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The second thing is you. The first is always me, whether we want to or not.
That's just a human instinct, right?
Yeah. It's basic biology.
Yeah.
Especially at our age, like, there is nothing we can do to overcome that isn't cerebral in nature. We can educate ourselves, we can meditate more, we can understand, like, the kind of struggles that other people go through more, and that's the only way to get rid of that level of entitlement. But, like,
and you might not show it outwardly, but inside you're thinking it.
Yeah.
Even if your actions don't show it.
And that's the other thing, like, our society, excuse me. Our society does not want, like, people to be entitled. It doesn't reward that.
True.
Outwardly. However, if you look deeper, and this is like, we're going down a dark path.
Yeah, we're going right into politics, bro, right now, aren't we?
I wasn't, dude, I'm going to try my best
mean?
to stay away from there.
Okay.
Fuck it, business sector, right? Business sector, if you're entitled, if you're, like, really, really just saying, like, I deserve to be here, and you deserve to be down here, and I should be making X amount of money, you're probably going to do better. Think about, like, the amount of people that we've interacted with at this college, where it's like, they're entitled about a specific thing. I don't know about you. I think I'm more of, like, a pushover person. Unless I've just worked out or I'm really drunk, I'm going to be a pushover because I don't care that much. If somebody really is like, no, I deserve to be in front of you in this line for the grill at the dining hall. Okay. It's like, dude, I don't care. Okay. Yeah. But, like, some people are entitled to be like, oh, I deserve to be able to put you down in a social setting. Yeah. And then it's like, whoa. Yeah.
That's super not cool.
It's super not cool.
And everyone draws their line at different points.
That's true.
With different things. Right. But now let's reframe that, right? So in the business setting, right? Yeah. And let's talk about gender too, because this is important, I think. In the business setting, it's not called being entitled when you're good at business. Yeah. It's called being confident. Right. Right?
There's such a fine fucking line, though.
Of course. Right. And people see through your bullshit. Yeah. So it's like, if you're entitled, if you're really, truly the form of entitled, then fuck you. Right. Your boss is going to be like, this fucking prick.
The problem is people have a mix, though.
Yeah. Like, it switches on and off.
Yeah. And it's like, you get glimpses every now and then where you're like, wait a second, did Janice just call me a pussy in front of, like, 5 other people? Right. But then
did that like, really just happen?
Right, yeah, exactly. You almost don't, like, realize it. Or, like, oh, I'm hanging out with all my friends. Did this person just, like, totally devalue, like, what I said or, like, make me look like an idiot, like, for no reason? Like, that wasn't, like, that cool. That doesn't make me want to, like, be around that person. But it's so different, like, I don't know.
Sometimes that happens to me, dude. Like, wait, what were you? Just finish what you were saying, my fault.
I was just gonna, broad sweeping generalization. Yeah. This is what pisses me off about just, like, people in general. And, like, I don't know. It's dumb because I love being around people and I go, like, I don't go crazy when I'm by myself, but I definitely go dark. Like, because then I start going, oh, like, I'm digging the hermit lifestyle. Like, let's get into this. Fuck other people. I'm gonna learn how to, like, contract my, like, quadricep muscle better than anybody's ever done it before. You know what I mean? Like, just totally get into your, like, self. I don't know where I was going with that, but, like, pick up what you were saying. Like,
oh, sometimes too, this is something really interesting about me that we've already talked about, is like my being, like, optimistic and seeing the best in people is a weakness sometimes. Most of the time it's not. But like in this situation that we brought up, overall I think it's like a positive. But this situation specifically, somebody says some shit to me that's like off mark. Right. And I'm so naive that I don't even understand that they were being a dick until like 30 minutes later when I rethink about the conversation.
You know what, though? I think that's, like, you have, like, an accidental hippie belief. You know what I mean? Because it's really, dude, it's a strength to be able to say, like, somebody, like, I don't know, says something obviously shitty. Yeah. Or puts you down and you just kind of go, like, you know, I'm a duck, I'm gonna let this shit roll off. Yeah. Like, that is so much more virtuous than being, like, the dude who's trying to be the alpha male and go, oh, bro, like, shut the fuck up. Don't you know who I am? I bench 235. Like, fuck you. Who do you think you are?
Yeah, no, and no one gives a fuck about you. Yeah. Nobody else cares. Right. And that's the thing. It's like, okay, some people care, but the majority of people do not give a fuck. Yeah. About you and your ego. Right. And that's a weird thing about ego, is like, you're the only one who cares if it gets hurt. Yeah. Oh. Right? Like,
dude, somebody needs to quote that. Put that shit in a book.
Dude, I've been like, I got this like list of quotes that I write down. Sometimes I just say some shit and I'm like, I kind of like that. No, write it down. Really? Bro. Well, I'll write it down after this. Don't let me forget it.
We gotta publish that. Out on
Okay.
Amazon right now, $12.99. It goes straight to us.
It'll go right to us, bro.
Right to us.
Ooh, we're not making any money on this. Not yet.
So, like, that whole thing about, I had it a second ago, I'm going to lose it a little bit. Let's see if we can relocate this thought thread.
You got it. If it doesn't come back, it's okay. I can keep going too.
Please.
You'll think of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Think of it in the back of your head.
Any one of those thought organisms just strike
Dude, we
me.
gotta start taking those on it fucking pills. That's what we gotta do. You gotta rip some of those fucking
No way, dude.
vitamins.
We're not giving more to the Rogan Industrial Complex. Fuck that.
You guys are scared about Google, bro. Watch out for Joey Rogan. He's gonna take over the world, bro.
I know. Ugh.
Oh, so
I feel like a fuck with this Austin, Texas cup.
Oh,
Are you kidding me?
Is that from Austin?
It is!
Texas? He's everywhere, man. He's inescapable. Oh, that's horrifying.
Yeah, we gotta go off.
Whoa, we gotta
Let's
go
to
off the
Alaska.
map, bro.
Alaska?
Okay.
Antarctica?
Wait, let's go where those people are that we were talking about last podcast.
Oh.
In Siberia. Let's go to Siberia.
You wanna go to Siberia?
Or we can go see the pygmies.
Let's go see the
It's
fucking
warmer down
pygmies.
there.
I was just gonna say it's so
It's
fucking
more
cold.
animalistic too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Dude,
We benefit from that.
here's what we gotta do. I am about buzzed.
Me too. Oh, bandana?
This shit's going on.
Okay, wait, slow down. Ready for this?
What?
Yeah.
He keeps that thing on him.
I knew I was gonna want it later.
Oh my god.
Let me re-roll this stuff so it's right. Good shit, dude.
Dude, I heard some people don't put on bandanas when they get drunk. And to those people, I just want to tell you, you're silly and wrong.
And fuck you.
And fuck you.
Because, like, bro, you don't, I think, like,
Oh,
until
are you rolling this on the
Yeah,
table?
I'm gonna get a fresh roll for the kids back home.
Guys, look at
Shout
this
out my
banana
boy
stuff.
Gus Butler, taught me how to roll a bandana the right way.
Gussie B.
You gotta start from the point and then roll it in, dude, and then you're free of all the lines. And you're also free of that little V at the front that makes you look like a weirdo.
Dude, I like the V.
Okay.
When it's got that little... Yo, that was the most demeaning shit. It's fine.
Only because you know.
I like
I
the
only said that because I
V.
know that you know I'm not serious.
Yeah. I like that little... The okay or the... Stop that. Like, any of that kind of, like, really, really subtle shit is so good.
Yeah, it's funny,
That's
right?
a clean roll.
It's a clean roll.
So, for any of the kiddos listening right now...
Your roll's clean, though.
This was pre-rolled.
Okay.
I did this way ahead of time.
It's like a cone.
This is like something that I did like right before the sesh.
Okay.
Speaking of session, no weed this time, guys.
Yeah, we're so cold sober
We're-
without the booze.
Yeah, we're just alcohol this time. We're gonna see if this changes the quality. Please, if this if we're not as divinely inspired,
If
you know
this
what happened.
sucks, let us know. We'll
Dude,
just
it's-
spark up a big fat J before we do the next one.
Yeah, you know what? Comment. We'll do only alcohol this time. If you want, we'll get way too high for the next one.
And just so you know, like if somebody actually comments on our video,
We're doing it. We have to.
I will be like the happiest person in the world if we just get even one comment.
Yeah,
I'll be
yeah.
like, whoa, someone listened and commented? Okay, word.
Dude.
So if you want to make us super happy, dude, that's how easy it is to make us happy.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we decided, like, we were just a little too cloudy. And, like, the last place we were recording at, like, there was a lot of noises. And, like, this place there's a lot of noises, too. And, like, there's noises going on right now. If you can hear them, I'm sorry. Like, we're going to figure this audio shit out. Just bear with us until we do. But, like, the weed was just slowing us down. Like I was saying the last one, just so you guys know, like, we were hearing shit. And, like, we were just too high.
Yeah.
And it was tweaking us out. And... if you couldn't tell, I literally, like, if there was a video for the last one, I just had a blank stare trying to talk to Nate for the first 30 minutes.
It was tough. I mean, I think we both had periods where we were like in and out of
Yes.
this realm and the next.
The couch was like, if we were in the couch, it was like we weren't in the same realm.
Yeah,
But if we were up, we were good.
Dude, I don't know if they can see this shit, but like, these couches go deep as fuck.
Oh my god, they're good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could get a running start and just go through one of these. Like,
100%, bro. You just hit it and then never stop going into it. Like a meme.
eternal cushion.
Yeah,
Eternal cushion.
yeah.
I'm loving this stuff. I know this is just a refresca.
It's not bad.
It's so good.
It's very refreshing.
Dude, we got rosy cheeks right
Yeah,
now.
oh, yeah.
Our ears are cooking. It's a little warm in here, but it's
And
fine.
The bandanas are on, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right, so after that fucking interlude.
Yeah, big interlude there. By the way, welcome to it.
Oh, fuck.
Might as well say it, right?
Yup.
Welcome to it. Episode 3.
Episode 2, part 2, right? Or no,
Episode 3.
My fault. We never posted episode.
We will.
We will.
Once you see this, you will have already seen part 2. It's about to drop, in your past and in our future, so.
Episode 3, part 1.
Yep. Let's go.
I mean, so I know that we've talked off air about this. I low-key want to get people's opinions on this. We would love to get guests on here. Mm-hmm. The problem is, who wants to sit down with a couple of kids that are going to be way too fucked up the whole time?
Yeah.
Now, I think if anybody cool is listening to this, they're going to want to engage.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe.
I think so, dude. I think as long as they're on our level, you and I can find a way to converse with them for that period of time.
That's not... Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they're sitting there and you and I are sitting here and we're both hammering away at them, bro, giving them questions and shit, they'll be fine. I think.
I agree. So if anybody's some cool shit they're working on right now, let us know. Blissfully Unaware podcast at gmail.com. Shoot us an email, slide in the comments section. Instagram is on the way. You can DM us. It's probably going to be Blissfully Unaware podcast.
Yeah, at Blissfully Unaware podcast. Yeah. If we can't get that, we'll fuck around with it. But you'll know soon what the Instagram is. It's coming.
Yeah. Do you want to plug the TikTok?
Yeah, TikTok is at Blissfully Unaware podcast. So we're on the talk. We're on the gram.
We're all socialed out right now.
We're getting social. So
fuck Twitter though. Twitter's dead. Anybody who still uses Twitter, you're either 35 or 6.
You're gonna make a lot of people mad on that.
Yeah, I am. And that's fine. I want somebody to find me and fight me.
Dude, I know, because I don't use Twitter either, so I'm with you. But, yeah.
I use it, I just hate it.
You use it.
It's hell.
See, that's the worst kind of using it.
Okay, I go on there, I scroll.
Let's talk about this.
It's so fucked up.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, so I went back to my hometown for this past weekend, and, I did the most basic shit ever.
Yeah.
Went to a pumpkin patch, got some apple cider, we did a corn maze, we carved pumpkins.
Awesome.
Dude, we watched Hubie Halloween by Adam Sandler.
Oh, you were telling me about this.
It's so bad. If anybody's wondering if Adam Sandler's on top of his game or not, he fucking sucks.
Wait, I thought you were saying it was good when we talked about this.
I thought I was too, and that I was sober when I watched it with my parents, and my dad was just razzing me. He was like, I thought you said this was good, and I was like, I thought I did too. Full honesty.
Well, that's the problem. You were sober, bro.
You
should have looked at Dad and been like, listen, man, you wouldn't smoke before this. This is on you.
You're so right.
Yeah.
You're so right.
Yeah.
In the moment, I was thinking, because, I watched it with some of my roommates.
Yeah.
We got really high before, and we were drinking through the whole thing. So I was like, oh, this is great. I was like, it's so dumb that it's good. And, off the high of Uncut Gems... masterpiece. I dare anybody to say it wasn't. Adam Sandler got snubbed at the Oscars on that. He said he was going to make the worst movie, and for this being the worst movie,
when you were high,
bad.
It was good.
Dude, even when I was sober, it's not the worst movie I've ever seen. So
okay.
Excuse me. Bless me. Because it's not the worst movie I've ever seen, I was like, for sure.
Yeah.
Bless me again. But I think some people were just oh, I don't love this that much.
And
I hate that energy.
What happened first of all, we said the Oscars.
Yeah.
Fuck the Oscars. Fuck the Academy.
Uncut Gems was amazing. Dude, the amount of suspenseful cinema techniques that they use in that shit, crazy.
Really?
Dude, at the end, did you watch Uncut Gems? Oh, man. I'm telling you, you have to watch it.
Okay.
I don't care if you're up until 4 tonight.
Okay.
Or if you get up 3 hours early tomorrow, you gotta watch it.
What's it about, though?
It's crazy.
It won the award? It won?
It didn't win anything.
Oh.
And that's why he was
who's
pissed.
it by?
Extremely good question. I don't know who wrote it.
Yeah.
I don't know who directed it. I just know Adam Sandler was in it, and he
Yeah.
played he's like a jewelry shop owner, and he was playing one of those like sleazy ones.
Wait, Nate, you started out this whole thing by saying how bad it was, and now you're saying I'm just confused.
Wait, what? No, Hubie Halloween.
Halloween. It was ass.
Hubie Halloween is that's the movie that he came up with after Uncut Gems got snubbed. He was like, fuck everybody.
Fuck you.
I'm
gonna
making
make
the
this
worst movie
bullshit
ever.
that sucks.
Exactly.
And you're going to like it because you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Okay,
So he was like, oh, you think I can't fucking act? You think I can't act, buddy, after Uncut Gems? Fuck you! So he does the water boy voice the entire time. It's so on the nose. Very clearly he's a mentally disabled person.
Okay.
Pretty not cool in 2020. But Netflix said, fuck you, this is #1 trending in the US right now.
Really?
Which was 100% a sponsorship. So...
You're not buying those numbers.
No! I'm not wrong.
Okay.
You don't think...
Oh,
like,
no, I don't buy that shit.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, it's Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
He comes out with a movie. Of course
Yeah.
Netflix is going to buy it.
Yeah.
You're silly not to sell to Netflix right now. They're the biggest competitor in the market. You're not going to sell it Amazon Prime.
Dude, how about Netflix still kicking ass?
Yeah.
Disney came in, Amazon came in, Apple is just shit the bed.
Yeah, fuck Apple.
Although,
Those
I will
Apple
tell you,
originals look bad.
they look terrible, but I'm warning you, you get one, look at HBO, you get one motherfucking show that everyone wants to watch and everyone has a subscription. Game of Thrones.
How long do you keep that, though?
I don't know, but if you can have 7 seasons, that's
Yeah,
7 years of
that's true.
subscriptions. Like, I'm just saying, don't count Apple out, because they could still do it, because they have so much money, and the
odds
actors,
are not in their favor, though.
they're not, but the actors that they can get are amazing. Have you seen all the actors that they're pulling?
I have. Dude,
Amazing.
okay, that's the other thing. In this Hubie Halloween movie, the worst movie ever, which isn't actually the worst movie ever. The worst movie ever is Troll 2. I don't know if you've heard about it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh my god.
No.
We gotta go down the trashy, like, 80s B movies.
Okay.
Like, I got some heaters.
Okay,
We'll
bet.
put a list on our Instagram, maybe.
Oh, check out the list.
Yeah.
Okay. Good
So
shit, that's content.
this Hubie Halloween movie has so many A-listers in it. It's just like, it's all of Adam Sandler's boys.
Whoa.
Kevin James is in it. That dude who's in like the Benchwarmers.
Okay.
Shorter.
I know who you're talking
He's
about.
like-
I'm so bad at actors'
Yeah,
names.
I think he's like half Filipino or something.
Okay.
I
It's a
think-
homie of Adam Sandler.
Yes.
They're all his homies.
Yeah, Elizabeth Banks is
So
in it.
sick.
Like the dude from Stranger Things.
Oh,
People.
no way.
Yeah.
Which one? The
Um,
cop?
The kid who
Hopper?
gets taken in the first one.
Oh, no
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. He like plays a grown-up role though, kind of. It's cool.
Okay.
I really like
Listen,
it.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna watch it.
Yeah.
But Uncut Gems though,
Uncut Gems is so good.
it was just a masterpiece.
It was a masterpiece.
It wasn't a comedy.
Hell, I have never seen a drama like this. Like, Taxi Driver is an amazing movie, and I'm like kind of equating it to this. It was still different. Like, everything, like, just the pacing of the movie was quick. Like,
That's how I like it.
yeah, dude, at the very end, I don't want to spoil anything, but like, it builds up so much. Like, the pans are fast as fuck.
Yeah.
The soundtrack behind it, it's quick music.
Uh-huh.
Like, there's a lot of hectic plot points that are all coming in at once. You're like, what's happening? And it builds up to this sense of like, oh my god, like I can't take it anymore. Then everything just stops, and you're like, it's so conflicting. Like, the masterpiece of the movie is not in the writing. It's not necessarily in like, you know, the set design or the actual like soundtrack. It's the pacing. I've never felt this way from a movie before. It was fucking cool.
It's like in sports, like speed kills.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
when you change your speed, like you're unstoppable.
The way that they do it is
Yeah.
like,
The pacing's amazing. There's no other way to put it.
yeah, but like I don't want to fucking give it away. It's
Yeah,
just like,
don't give it away. That's all right.
Yeah.
Me and the rest of the audience is
Okay.
gonna get in this bitch.
Yeah.
And we're gonna watch it.
It's fantastic.
Word. Here's what I have to say about that. 2 things. Fuck the Oscars. I've already said it.
Yeah.
That shit is so ridiculous. The
Dude, they make
Grammys
movies
are
for it now.
ridiculous. It's the stupidest shit I've ever seen. Nothing good ever wins.
Yeah.
fuck it. I don't watch it. I don't pay attention to it. I can't deal with it, bro.
I know, but Adam Sandler, dude, he's been in the game forever. He's pissed off because he doesn't have one yet. I get where he's coming from.
Like, he shouldn't care. You know what would be even cooler of Adam Sandler is if he was. It'd be even cooler if he was who he is.
Yeah.
An amazing fucking actor and like clearly beautifully intelligent and creative person, and he also didn't give a fuck what anyone else thought.
He does that so often. Like, you see like, his outfits and shit.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the thing is, if you, like, we all love to be able to be like, oh, we're free-thinking individuals. We're not really, like, getting offended by shit other people say.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, that's
You
bullshit.
still do. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
But it's a practice in not caring. It's a practice.
It is, but because it's a practice, it takes effort.
Yeah.
So to be somebody like Adam Sandler, who's just constantly in, like, the spotlight, everybody is like, fuck you, you only do the Waterboy voice, you just make fun of people with, like, handicaps, which, that's fucked up. But also, it was a different time. I don't think he understood that that's how it was coming off. Or maybe he did. Maybe I'm going to give Adam Sandler a pass here.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have the right to do that, but I'm giving it to myself.
Yeah.
So, like...
Interesting.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, he felt like he needed that win from the Oscars.
Right.
Because so many people were just like, fuck Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Like, this dude's not shit. He's not a real actor. Like, I understand, like, if he was being his best hippie self, he would just be like, it's whatever, man. It's whatever. Mm-hmm. But that takes a lot of effort or a lot of knowledge.
It's so hard to do. And, like, when I say that, like, he should just do that, I know it's not easy. Like, it's one of those things, like, oh, fuck, I read this book this summer, dude, and I'm going to completely forget the name of it right now.
You don't got to shout it out till afterwards, but, like, give me the synopsis or whatever.
It was talking about, it was a psychology book about Freudian psychology?
Fuck Freud.
Wait, slow down. I think I need to figure out which one it is. I don't know if it was Freud.
All good.
It was about interpersonal relationships. And how you have like do you know what I'm talking about?
Dude,
is that
a broad net.
Okay.
Freud
says
put his fingers in a lot of stuff, but he never got one like I don't think he got one right.
Really? You don't think he hit the nail on the head?
No, because it was all this kind of like broad approximation shit that kind of like made sense. Freud's big thing was exactly what we were talking about earlier, getting outside of yourself. He was an insightful person, but only insightful to the extent that his self allowed him to get to. Because he would just project his experiences on everything.
Okay.
Which, like...
Yeah, that's not everyone's experience.
Yeah, man, as a psychologist, you can't really do that.
Mm.
Like, Jung didn't do that, and that's why he's so prolific and has stuff that still holds up today. Erickson didn't do that. Like, Ainsworth didn't do that.
Yeah.
There are so many other people that came after Freud that refined his theories that he would come up with, or like different models. He just gets a lot of clout because he was like the first.
Yeah. So the area that I was talking about in the book was, I don't know if it was Freud. I think Freud might have just been the first thing that came to my mind. But yeah, let's do it. I was drinking Cape Line, which has got to make me wonder if that's from Cape Cod.
Sparkling cocktails. Ooh, hard strawberry lemonade.
It could be from the hometown. I don't know. The part of the book that I really liked was it essentially like proclaimed that you are free as soon as you stop caring about what other people think about you.
Yeah.
And that is like I think that's true. I think that, and like you're saying, like it's not really maybe attainable for most people, like on all levels, but that's why I say things like, I might have said this to you before, I want to get like rich, and then I don't want anyone to know. that kind of thing. It's like, how much cooler would it be if I was a billionaire and I drove like an old fucking Chevy, like Camry?
Dude, you sound like Warren Buffett right now. That's what he does.
Is that what he does?
Yeah, he
So
lives in, like,
I
his
know
childhood house.
that. Yeah, right. Well, that's the thing. It's like, I don't know. I just think that there's something beautiful in that because you're not putting on a show.
Right.
Like, we talked about that guy in the landscaping thing that last time on the podcast about he was wearing his clothes. Did we talk about that on the last podcast? He was like, he would come outside and like be all dressed to the nines.
Oh,
that kind of thing, dude. Where you have so much money,
right,
and then the money becomes a prison.
Yes.
Like, you had a prison of not enough, and then you made so much that you're in prison again.
Yeah, I mean, but that's prison of the ego. So like, so often, I know this is like a theme within everything that we talk about, but it's the same way that like when you talk about politics, you come down to the agreement that, oh, both parties are wrong. The same way when you talk about any kind of like interpersonal fuck ups or like societal issues, it comes back to the ego is the problem. Because like, dude, at our hearts, we all just want to fucking reproduce. So we're like, I should get the biggest ego possible so that other people, my ego's so big that other people can see it. You know? Like, and I think the only way to beat that is to just understand, like, we've said this so many times, like, everybody fucking sucks. Like, we suck. Everybody who's listening to this sucks. And everybody who's not listening to this that has ever existed and ever will exist sucks. There is not a single perfect person. Everybody allows periods of time where their ego is totally in the driver's seat. You know?
Yeah.
Like, let's say our body's a car.
Yeah.
What we're doing is just having, like, you know, our subconscious and the conscious parts of our brain taking turns driving that car around.
Right.
The only reason that we don't understand when our ego or when our soul is driving is because we've been driving this car so long that we think we're the fucking car. You know what I mean? I identify as this body. I don't identify as the mix of jumbled thoughts and emotions and tendencies to think that are up here, right? I don't identify as the infinite thing within me that's lived maybe countless lifetimes or will live countless more lifetimes. Like, I don't identify with that soul.
Right.
It's just like, it's impossible unless you're somehow like a god, like you have some kind of divine gift, that you won't think egotistically at some point.
Yeah.
The problem is that so many people aren't aware of the fact that their ego's thinking for them.
Yeah.
So if it's an inevitability that we are going to use our ego at some point, all that you can hope for is that whenever that happens, the other person is going to think or act through their soul and not their ego. Because then it's like, you know, I act shitty, why don't you be the buffer for me, or vice versa.
Right, which you and I have both done for each other multiple times.
But a lot of people, I think that's hard for them to do, because a lot of people don't realize that their ego's in the driver's seat. Or they don't realize that, you know, maybe your soul got up and jumped out of the car like mad long ago, and now you're just like fucked up. You're all ego, no soul to balance. Like, that doesn't mean that you're in trouble forever. Like, you know, you can build that back. You know, maybe you can pick up a hitchhiking soul on the road. Maybe you can circle back to that exit and find your soul. But like, we get so caught up in this thing of attaining money, and I know this is so like, we live in a society, but it bugs me.
Hit me with it, bro.
It
I'm ready to hear it.
Yeah,
I'm ready to hear it.
It's just like, we get so caught up in the thing of, I have to attain like this amount of money and this amount of social status. I mean, this is an epidemic with people our age.
Yeah.
The trying to posture yourself so that you are more in a position where it's like advantageous to be your friend. I mean, that is something that like social...
For things that you can buy too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all external. It's so,
Or things that you buy second hand, like social media, like followers. If I'm wearing a ton of like Louis V or like a ton of like Gucci and I have a nice ass camera,
for the clout,
like,
bro.
Right, I'm like doing like photo shoots and stuff for myself and just making like flashing my ass on the gram and stuff. I have a ton of followers. Suddenly, it's advantageous to be friends with me because what if I can give you like a shout out and then you get a ton of followers off of that? Like, that is so egocentric.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking gross. Whereas, like, and I don't want to, I mean, this isn't saying we need to go back to the past had it better. Like, because this still happens a lot now, but it should be, like, let's act with our soul and be friends with people who are, like, close to our soul in, like, the cosmic web of souls, right? Like, you can teach me something, so I'm enjoying the fact that I'm learning a new skill from you. Or, like, I can give you some kind of knowledge, so... like, you should get something out of that relationship. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think this is gonna sound hippie too, but, like, it doesn't need to be about gain. It needs to be about unconditional love, and that's something that I feel like is not around as much as it should be now as it maybe was before.
Yeah. No, I feel that, and I think too, like, this is kind of the thing where it's like there's certain, like, things that you need, right?
Yeah.
And then there's certain things that you need to survive, and then there's certain things you need to be happy, right? So, like, to survive, you need a little bit of money, but, like, to be happy, you need to be happy with yourself.
Yes.
So it's like making that distinction where it's like, okay, you can make anywhere between, I don't know, if you're supporting only yourself, $50,000 a year or $25,000 a year and millions of dollars a year. It's easy to fill that quota. That quota for surviving is not hard to fill in America, which we are lucky and blessed to live in America. But the happiness
for a lot of us.
For a lot of us. No, well, when you have a bunch of kids that you can't, you know what I mean, or you're in a situation where this, that, and the other, and you weren't set up like we are, and we're very lucky to be set up the way that we are. Even still, it's not that hard to fill the surviving quota. But to cross over to that line where you're a thriving individual and you're happy, that takes a lot more. And it doesn't take money, obviously. Obviously, the most obvious thing you can say is that money isn't happiness and all that kind of thing. But, like, it's really true, to your point. And when you start to distinguish things, oh, this is interesting too. I was thinking about this. I was watching, so, like, at the same time that I'm bashing money, I'm also really interested in it.
Well, yeah, how could you not be, right?
How could you not be? It's probably my ego that's fueling me, like you were just talking about it. Yeah. So I'm interested in money because nobody taught us about it, which makes it interesting to me.
Right.
And a lot of people think that no one taught you about it because it's easier to control people who don't know how to get the thing that gives you power. Okay? That's like a common, like if you ask somebody, why didn't they teach money in school? Oh, it's because the government has a lot easier job when you don't know how to make it. I'm not that negative and dark about that. Like, I'm not sure that's completely true, but, like, that's a little pessimistic for my whatever. But because nobody taught me it for whatever reason that they decided not to, it makes me want to learn about it. So I'm in on it. I'm reading about it. I'm, like, slowly getting my way into it, whatever. So there was this one video about, like, spending dials. And this guy is a personal finance guy, and he just talks about spending dials and how you don't necessarily need to buy all of the things that you're buying, but you can buy the things that you really enjoy. So say you enjoy fast food, technology, and I don't know, going to the movies, right? One of those things you might really, really enjoy the most. If you just decide to spend your money on one of those things and just don't spend any money, you pick one.
Right.
I love this the most, but 3, 4, 5, and 6, I don't need them. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, I don't need those. All of a sudden, like, that is, like, a very, like, frugal and intelligent way to go about spending your money. Now, I like to broaden this out a little bit, okay? Everything is like that. Like, if you're spending all of your energy on 6 things because you think you like all of those 6 things, maybe if you just picked one, you wouldn't be so tired. I think we're overcommitted. Here's what I think. I think we're way overcommitted. As people, a lot of us, we're spending too much time on so many different things because we have access to everything.
Dude, it's hard not to.
The internet gives us access to everything, right?
Right.
And then we're like, oh wait, I'm into this. Wait, I'm into guitar. This is my life.
Yeah.
Sports, then YouTube, guitar, okay? And then I'm into fishing because of YouTube. And then I'm into photography because of YouTube. All of my hobbies are from YouTube.
But it's like action begets action. That's good in a lot of ways because you're always gonna be like stimulated
in most
like
ways.
Somebody who has multiple passions. Like, dude, we were talking about this a while ago, like close to the beginning of the year. Like, what the fuck? Like, is it good for us to be spread out?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Have these different kind of passions, have shit that like we're kind of excited about. Oh, like, I wish I had more time to put into this. I wish I had more time to put into that.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's so powerful to be able to have all of those things, and I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, it's so, you know, it's easier to have one thing where you can just go bam, 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 bam. I'm passionate about this. Let me put this in. Obviously, you can't apply that kind of like mental capacity or energy to everything that you're into.
Right.
It's just like you're saying, it's gonna tire you out. It's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
However, if you can be selective about it, if you can understand the fact that, like, you know, guitar for you. Okay, today I am putting time into guitar. Tomorrow I'm putting time into photography.
Right.
The day after that, but it's like, you know, you just gotta flip the switch. So it's like you're only thinking about that thing in that day.
Yeah.
And it's tough because you can't get into that like passionate, like, you know,
groove of where you forget everything else.
You get in the pocket. You get totally in the pocket.
Yeah.
And that is your world for a little bit.
Right. And I also too, like, this is like ridiculous that I would even I'm not complaining, but like if anyone thinks I am, that's the most ridiculous thing to complain about. To have a lot of hobbies that you like. Like, obviously it's awesome. So it's just interesting, like, I just think time is really interesting, and the way that you spend your time and who you spend your time with and what you spend your time doing, it's just more so than money. It's just the most valuable thing you have.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's the only universal currency, and that's why it means so much when you invest it in something.
And that's why I like to take a lot of time to think about how I'm spending my time, because it's like you just don't want to do it wrong. Like, you just don't want to spend your time in the wrong places. And part of me says, okay, you can't just like live like that, like worried if you're going to spend the time in the wrong place. But if you set aside time to be like, I'm not spending the right time on like this, and this, because I'm spending it on this bullshit. You know, like that, for me, that's like very healing for my perspective on the world, to dissect like what time I'm spending where.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like I might just be cycling on this, but I feel like it doesn't really fucking matter. You know, like, and that's not in order to like dismiss you.
I know
I'm just saying it doesn't matter where you spend it.
Yeah.
Because like, however you look at it, you can say like, our time on this earth is finite. Mm-hmm. But if it is finite, why the fuck wouldn't you just like, if maybe you're just feeling something in that moment, go do it.
Right.
Because what if you never get that urge again?
Yeah, to do it.
And maybe it distracts you from your current course. Fine, man. Because you might never get that urge again. Like,
that's exactly what I mean. I think we're agreeing.
Okay, all right,
I think we're agreeing, because what I'm saying is sometimes you spend time doing things you don't really actually want to do because other people told you that you had to.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes, that is a big one. Especially once we start putting ourselves in boxes.
Yeah, dude.
That's like, dude, with like going back again to the social media culture of all of this, dude, I feel like this has just been on my mind so much, because like I've been looking at all this stuff with like, how do social media algorithms work, you know, how do they make our feeds, like that Social Dilemma documentary, all of it, dude, it's just running through my mind. Like,
me too.
This whole thing now about like, what's your category? What's your brand? What's your brand as a fucking person?
Yeah.
Because it's not just influencers, it's also like, I think about, I have this 13-year-old cousin, right?
Yeah.
And this summer we like went to Sea Down in Rhode Island, and she was showing us her TikTok, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm more of like a cutesy indie vibe," and I was like, "What? You can describe your brand?"
Ooh, that's
13.
horrifying.
She's in middle school. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, man. Like that bothered me so much. So it's like she's already creating this box for herself, and something that like gets me going about like the whole thing of where we spend our time. Some people are putting so much effort into making sure that they stay within their box and get really good at being within that box.
Yeah.
Because if you're like, dude, oh, I'm a food photographer, I gotta make sure I'm the best goddamn food photographer there is. It's like, no, if you're living a normal life, you probably take alright pictures of food, but you also know how to change your kid's diaper. And you also know how to like weed whack, and you maybe like have a little bit of like.
I agree.
Yeah, like
I agree.
It's got to be varied. It's got to be that balance.
The balance is important, dude. It is.
So like that, but that box thing replicates itself everywhere, because
God,
nowadays people like, you know,
I
don't know if you see this, but when I talk to people, it's like, oh, you're that person who da 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 da. It's easy to put people in a box. We want to put people in a box.
It simplifies things for us.
Yeah, and again, it's all about like that's the easy thing. But if we oversimplify, we can't understand.
Yeah.
We got to take that. It's that reframing thing from before. We got to look back outwards.
Yeah. If we oversimplify, we can't understand.
Yeah, because every single person, I have never met somebody who is a totally one-dimensional being.
No.
Like, it's impossible.
You could be with somebody for 40 years and still not understand everything about them.
That's super cool, right?
Yeah. Oh, like, it's my biggest. That's like my biggest argument towards being with somebody for your whole life. Like I know like a lot of people are like, marriage is stupid. Like, fuck that. Like,
yeah, fuck those people.
And like, by the way, our biology tells us that that's not what you're supposed to do. But there is some real, like you're saying, there's real beauty in that. Like just being with somebody and like every day you can like find out a little bit more about who they are and what they like. And like that's something beautiful you see in old couples that are happy together. You're like, whoa.
They understand without even so deeply.
Yeah, and without even, and that's a connection that other people can feel.
Yes.
From the outside. At least me, I see that, and my heart is warmer when I see that, because I'm like, okay, like these people understand each other, have been learning to understand each other for like what, 60 years?
Right.
Are you kidding me? I've been alive for 20 years. They've been learning each other for 60. And that sounds like stupid, but it's like...
No, it's not.
It's really amazing.
Because you want to learn from that. Because if we could all understand other people as well as they do, this would be just a so much better place to live. Like, I mean...
I agree.
Dude, that's something that, like, really bothers me. The thought of, like, I think about how close I am with, like, certain people in my life, and I'm so aware of the fact that there is so much more to understand.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's so easy for me to just be like, oh, I don't have the patience for that. I wish I could just, like, fast forward. Like, you know.
That's that fucking technology, bro.
I know.
That's corrupting us.
It's making you lose patience.
Yes.
But then it's like.
Everyone's lost their patience.
It's so fucked up, because I feel like I'm right on that thing of, I want to understand people. I want to get like this authentic experience.
Yeah.
But it's just like technology and the pace of our society. Maybe it's Uncut Gems. Maybe the pace of that has like fucked me up or whatever. Like all of that is just like pushing me toward a way of thinking where I am just not having patience for things. I think a lot with like my closest relationships, like my girlfriend. I'm like, tell me. Like, you know, tell me what you're fucking thinking about. Like, I want to hear about your constant stream of thought.
Yeah.
Like, you know, what's like something like fucked up that you did when you were like 9?
Yeah, that you like regret now or whatever. Yeah. Oh, I feel that.
I'm one of those people where it's like, I'll tell you. Like, I'll tell you about the time I like shit my pants before like a lacrosse tournament when I was like 12.
Yeah.
She'd be like, well, I don't talk that far back, which I'm like, I respect that and I understand it, but also bums me out.
Let me know.
Like, I want,
Yeah, because I just let you know, so let me know. Dude, let's use the analogy of like creating a podcast. Think about 60 years ago, what it would be like to get a video camera, get microphones, get software, and then think about what the platform would have been like posting on. You wouldn't post a podcast, it would be a film.
60 years ago?
Like, how, like...
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like...
Yeah, it would just be on, like, TV. Dude, that's what a radio show was, though.
Right. So we're not... So all of the, like, half of the elements of this show wouldn't be here.
Right.
But what we grew up with, all we needed for this fucking podcast was our phone. And some headphones that we're not even using right now.
Oh.
That's how fast our life is. Think about how much slower our life would have been 60 years ago had we needed to go through all the hoops that technology has eliminated for us. And then think about how much that speed is just fucking us up, dude. We're not ready to go that fast. Because now that we have one thing fast, we want everything fast. At the touch of a button, you can buy something with one click on Amazon.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Dude, I get pissed off when it's like 5-day shipping.
Pissed.
Yeah, it's like,
Pissed.
it's going to be here in a week.
You ever wait for 2
fucking
weeks
kidding
for a
me?
package?
Oh,
The
no.
worst shit ever.
If it said that, I'm buying expedited shipping.
100%.
Extra
$15 more dollars?
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Whatever.
And that's the corruption, bro. And we see it, but it's almost inescapable. There's ways to fight it.
That's true.
But it's like, it's also to a point where it's like, if you get stuck in the past, you're going to get left behind. And you're not going to be able to use the things. Not only if you stop using technology, you might benefit in some areas, but you're losing in areas that technology makes your life better.
That's true.
And then it's like, fuck, like maybe I should be trying this shit out.
But
Like,
I mean, we're not arguing against technology. It's more so
We're
like
not.
you can't just be, blissfully unaware of the fact that this technology is affecting you. Like it's what you just made me viscerally aware of is that even just ship times, all that kind of shit, that's fucking me up interpersonally.
Yes.
Because I'm saying, I need these kind of old school things where it's close personal connection. Right, that's the problem. I'm taking the modern approach.
Yes.
But I need it now.
But you need it.
Which is
Yeah, you
ridiculous.
need all of the old school things that take time because you're a human.
Right.
But the technology isn't human, and it makes you want it now.
Dude, even on my hippie shit, I feel like I need it now. When like I'm going through a rough patch where I feel like maybe I'm like regressing, like, I haven't been patient. I haven't been appreciating other people's struggles. I don't feel like I've been spreading love. If anything, I feel like I've been spreading like, hate and lack of understanding.
Yeah.
Then I get upset with myself. I'm like, why aren't I where I want to be right now?
Right now, yeah.
And like again, that's just something that I've had such a hard time coming to terms with. Intellectually, I can understand the fact that it needs to be a couple steps forward, maybe a couple steps back, and so on and so forth. That rubber banding that happens, but like,
it's hard to have that mindset all the time.
Yeah, and
for sure.
I think you're right. I think it is just the pressures of modern culture, like playing on us. Dude, we have gone so like. We live in a society this time. I feel like we just recreated the Joker in a conversational sense.
Whoa. Dude, by the way, that most recent Joker movie was amazing. We watched it together. Dude.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Here,
wait. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have a problem if I don't pee right now.
Alright, okay.
My bad.
We gotta pause this thing. I got
Pause.
to be really bad too.
Just don't pause it.
Oh.
You know what I mean? It'll be easier.
Well, we're using one audio source.
Oh. Well,
Right.
wait, no, dude. I don't think you can pause it because look, it's just recording.
Oh, that's true.
Let's just leave it. We can cut it out.
Alright, where's the bathroom?
Right here, brother. What? Remember? We did this last time.
I didn't pee last time. That's why I was...
Oh, thank God. Oh my God. Oh, I'm ready to drink again.
think we're at right now?
An hour.
Okay, yeah, we're at like an hour 10.
We just ripped through that first hour.
We gotta smoke next time.
You think?
Yeah. I hate to say that. We gotta smoke next time.
I was kind of thinking that too. Well, I don't think this is bad.
It's not bad.
No, I think it's good.
But I think I just realized I get weed paranoia in the middle of it. In the middle of it, I get weed paranoia that we suck. But
Okay.
it works.
It makes us better.
I think so.
Yeah.
You know what
We'll
I mean?
have to keep experimenting, bro. We have to be stronger about how much we smoke. We have to smoke less.
Yeah,
And find that sweet spot.
Nathan's not good at that.
You let's get some more beer before we start.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
let her up. I am loving this setup though. This
I'm
has
in
gotten
my
me
zone.
Yeah.
The smells, everything.
That smell is fucking so good, dude.
Soothing
Like,
me, bro.
yeah.
Soothing me.
All right, sir.
You want me to get the thing out, or you want to do the table shake?
Let's do this. Doesn't that feel cool too?
Yeah, that was gas.
Clankers.
Oh my gosh, I feel so much better now. Yeah, we could smoke next time. I wouldn't be opposed at all.
The problem is, it's exactly what you're saying.
We'll find the sweet spot.
Yeah.
I feel like I think this would be interesting to listen to. I really do. I think this is good.
I think we're doing an alright job, but we gotta be careful about like all the societal talk because people think about that shit too much. All right, what are we reapproaching after the break? Like,
I was thinking we could talk about the octopus teacher, bro.
oh,
Should we?
should,
Or should we not?
We should.
Are
I
you
think
sure?
we should, because that was really fucking cool.
Amazing.
I
And
feel
it's
like-
simple.
yeah.
We don't have to get deep on it.
That's true. That's true. And I
Okay.
think that'll bring us places.
We're back.
We're back. We're cooked up.
More harpoon.
Yeah. Hey.
Cheers. Fuck yeah. And we just had a short bathroom break. And Nate had a big rec for me. It was called My Octopus Teacher on Netflix. And dude, watching it, first of all, weird name.
Yeah, but mind blowing, and it's like
Amazing.
it sums it up perfectly. Like,
Right. True.
well, please go out and watch it. It's on Netflix right now. It's I don't know how long.
It's an hour and a half.
Yeah, hour and a half.
Yeah.
It's not bad though, and it should draw you in. Like, dude, I don't know what your first like impressions on it were, but when like the first time I watched through it, I was just like, I feel like I'm missing out on a whole different type of intelligence. Like,
Yeah. No, when I saw it, dude, the beginning, I was a little bit judgmental of the guy because he's clearly weird. But, like, that's just my shit. Like,
weird people
everyone's
are fun,
weird.
though.
They
Yeah.
are fun, and it was fun to listen to him talk because I was like, okay, this guy's weird. But in a cool way where he's, like, fucking almost living with this octopus. So
Yeah.
it's like he lives on the shore of, I think he's somewhere over
South
in Europe.
Africa.
Oh, South Africa?
Yeah.
No way. I must have missed that at the beginning. So it's this amazing like beachfront that's all rocks, and you see him dive into this like cold water at the start of the show, and he talks about how he just like got used to swimming in near freezing water all year round.
it's
and
that Wim Hof shit.
it's that
The
Wim
cold
Hof.
is my religion.
The cold is my religion. Look up Wim Hof because you'll get into that shit real quick too. Basically, like, he finds the gist of the, without spoiling anything, is that like this guy finds this. You're good, bro.
Spill my shit. Thank God these aren't our couches.
So true. So true, bro. So he like finds this octopus, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, I need to like understand this octopus. And then every day he just goes out and like watches it.
Do you remember the thing he said about like he was like, I was curious about this octopus, but what intrigued me was it was just as curious as I was.
Yeah.
That shit's cool.
It's cool. It's cool because of how smart it was.
Yeah.
And it's so cool that he found it every day And like
it
eventually,
found him too, though.
Yeah,
like, it actively seeked him out. Like halfway through the doc, it talks about the fact that octopuses are normally nocturnal. They're not out and about during the day. But he would be down there at like fucking noon every time.
Yeah.
So basically, this octopus was like getting out of the middle of its sleep and going, "My boy's here. I gotta go.
Let me go say what up to the homie."
Oh, dude, I just thought about something. All right,
Okay.
so before we dive any deeper in this, so octopi are normally totally antisocial. They don't bull with another octopus for their life, except for maybe the last like 10th of it when they're mating, right? So this human was the only other person, or the only other intelligent thing that the octopus was interacting with, right? It was established this was a female octopus. Did you see the way that like the octopus was grabbing onto like his hand? At some point it slithered onto his chest and like spread itself out and tried to go the color of his skin. I don't want to go there, but like, do you think there's like any kind of weird thing going on?
You think he was trying
My
to fuck
mind
him?
went there. I don't think it was trying to fuck him, but I do think it was an emotional romantic relationship.
Okay.
Dude, who else?
It could be. It
You know
could
what I mean?
easily be. That's not out of the realm of possibilities, bro. Imagine
I'm
you go to.
proposing that.
Listen,
I think,
imagine this. You are an honors student
yeah.
and you're in a CP1 class. Everyone in the class is just like, it's not that they're like worse people than you, but it's like they don't understand you on the same level, right? So it's like this is kind of a brutal analogy because it's hard to judge people off their intelligence.
I know,
but
I know.
You know what I mean? Like when
Yeah.
you're around somebody, or let's say this, maybe like making a comparison. Let's say that
But do you notice how you're using human comparisons
Mhm.
between the octopus? Like, how do we make the octopus feel like it, you know? I don't know where the fuck I'm going with this. I'm just saying
No.
it's crazy that we can see the humanity within the octopus.
Right. And without making a metaphor, because clearly I'm dry right now on the metaphors, what I'm basically saying is it found something that was also intelligent in
Yeah.
a sea full of unintelligent creatures.
But this guy did that too.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, he obviously is surrounded by intelligent people, unless he just got a fucking Dalmatian wife. Maybe his wife is some dumb broad who like
No,
just goes,
I doubt
I
it.
like your films, and then just like gives him crazy head on camera. It's like, fuck that. I just with her because she gives me the sloppy anytime I ask for it.
No.
You know, his son was a good-looking dude, so this might be the case.
True.
Who knows?
Yeah.
So, also the way he was going back to that octopus.
Almost like he had a date that he couldn't be late for.
Yeah, like a
And
former lover.
That's
you know?
what I mean when I'm saying like their connection with the octopus
Yeah.
at like a very judgmental and first glance is weird. It's like, okay, I'm watching a documentary about a guy who's in love with an octopus.
But it's because we're scared of the other.
Okay.
Like, I mean,
What do you mean?
do you remember the first episode we talked about tribalism?
Yeah.
We are inherently
Okay.
scared of the other.
Yeah.
Anything that is different from us,
Mm-hmm.
ideologically, we go, oh, whoa. You believe blue? I believe red.
Right.
You believe green? Fuck all of these people. I'm a red thinker. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but that's another biological thing that's built into us. Like, we just need that in order to like survive within these small tribes where
Yeah.
we try to be the alpha male and spread our seed the most. So that's our ego talking to us when it says that octopus is gross and alien-like. Like,
yeah, it's not like us. Yeah, fuck that. It's beautiful.
but it is
Yeah.
because the different scenes through there where like we found ourselves like smiling or going, whoa, like
This is
that's because
amazing.
our soul was peeking through the shield that our ego was trying to create. It was.
That was beautifully put.
It was. Like,
There's something about nature that does that to you.
yeah.
Like you come in contact with something that's clearly like outside of the realm of what you could understand.
Yeah.
Like you make eye contact with an animal that you can't even talk to,
Right.
But you're like, okay, like I'm looking at this like, if anyone's ever like seen a deer or something like, or like, really any animal like.
Deers are fucking stupid.
Deers are
no octopus. It's still cool.
No, but what I mean is like the nature of like the like things that live in nature that we can't communicate with, regardless of if they're stupid or not.
Yeah.
I was in the Grand Canyon with my family on like a family vacation when I was younger, and we went out to hike like really early in the morning. We saw these elk on the front lawn. Yeah, and that's such a majestic like creature. That's such a majestic animal, and you're like. You look at the elk and it looks at you, and like animals just give you a different perspective, because especially in the case of an elk, it's like that thing could fuck me up.
Yeah.
In an instant, it could kill me.
And they look fragile. They're
They're so
like
strong.
They're like 600 pounds too.
They're so strong.
Hit an elk with your car, and then wonder if you could like tackle it. Like I've looked at an elk before, or a deer.
Yeah.
Because like camping out in like the Adirondacks or something, you see a deer. And, maybe you have a few drinks. You're like, I could tackle that thing into next week. Its leg's broken. I just gotta go like that. And then, like, if you get anywhere close to it, or just do a quick Wikipedia search, you realize, oh, I died. Or if you hit one of those things with your car, how come your car gets dented, but they just walk away?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. No,
so
they hit
scary.
your car, bro. You don't hit them.
Yeah.
Like, if you hit a moose, you're done.
Oh, a moose is different. Come on. That's that's a tank. That's like a natural tank.
Mm-hmm.
Like a panzer.
That's nature's tank.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
It's
they
a
basically
northern
have
tank.
fucking guns on their head and shit. Like,
dude, it's just what I'm like. The main reason I brought this up is just like the connection you have with an animal. If you've ever had a connection with an animal where you're like, okay, this is cool, and this is why people want to have pets, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like it's a different form of communication where like you have a partner. And your partner loves you because they say it and they show it.
Right.
But the way that a dog shows you that it loves you, it's so beautiful. Like it's different. It's like your dog or your cat or your fucking goldfish that you're making up that it loves you even though it doesn't. Yeah. But you made it up that it does because it's a connection you're having with something that you can't communicate with, so they don't. There's no way they can tell you they don't love you. It's like it's like this is cool because
that is
when
impressive.
you come over and lick me, like a dog comes over and is like hi, like gives me like it really just wants attention. But for me, it's like I'm like stroking my ego, being like this dog loves me. But I think that's okay.
It's still real.
It's mutually beneficial.
Yeah. Yes. It's this weird kind of like parasitic relationship where the dog is. I mean, you could say it's mutualism, but that's kind of horseshit because like you're not benefiting from the dog's like existence. And I don't mean this to sound sociopathic, but you supply this dog with everything. You supply it with the socialization that it needs, that it would get from a pack normally. You supply it with the food that it can't get for itself because it has no viable like hunting ability anymore. Because it's not a wolf. Like it's a shitty little like Shih Tzu or like a pug that can't smell anymore. Like we've ruined like dogs in general.
Yeah.
Like, also, if anybody hates the thought of that, like go out and adopt like a mutt. That's the best kind of dog you can get. A mutt is like that's how dogs should be.
And like the least desired.
It is the least desired, but because we want to enact that ego thing of
having a purebred dog.
I have a purebred Cocker Spaniel. Like,
go
shut
fuck
the fuck
yourself.
up, Melissa.
Yeah.
Like, he's not like. Do you think you're the first one that just put a bandana around your Cocker Spaniel's neck? No. Like.
Yeah.
Shit makes me mad.
Yeah.
Because it's like we got so in depth, like into their biology and ruined dogs as a species. Like there are so many breeds of dogs right now that it's just like they kind of just are in constant pain their whole lives. Like people love the idea of a golden retriever. It's a miracle if by 5 years old they don't have like chronic hip pain.
That's true. A lot
Which
of
is
dogs, dude.
awful,
Like the bulldogs that can't
It's
even
awful.
breathe, bro, and their hips are terrible. And like, think about this too. What's interesting is like when my dad had a lab as a kid, labs used to live to like 20 years old.
What?
Yeah. like when our parents were kids, labs lived to like 20. Now 13 is like an old ass dog.
Are you sure?
I'm serious.
20?
I'm serious.
Wow.
I don't know what it is. It's probably the breeding and whatnot. I was originally thinking it was like the food, the diet that they had wasn't as strong or something, but probably not.
I think it's less genetic diversity. Right?
We're also less active, which makes our pets less active.
Yeah, but I mean that's significant.
Genetic diversity makes sense.
I think it is genetic diversity because when you don't have enough genetic diversity, you get so many kind of chronic issues that start to take place. It's just like fuck. Like that's what kills people early.
That's why I like the idea of having a dog that is like primal. Like you need to like
something like a wolf.
You need to run it. Like so my brother is like super into animals. Shout out Alden. Can't believe we haven't talked about Alden yet. Like Alden's like I would love to have Alden on the podcast. He's awesome. Like he is like wise beyond his years and like he just has a way about him that's so introspective and like thoughtful, but like also really funny and like it just I would love you to like you've met him before.
Yeah.
I know you like him.
I haven't had like a long conversation with him though.
He has said that he really enjoys being around you. Like he's talked to me before about it. You guys talked like one time when you guys were both drunk or whatever, but nothing crazy. But like, he loves animals. Like he wants to be a vet, and he's like,
that's a hard road.
Oh my god, it's harder to be a vet than a doctor.
Yeah. Does he get?
He knows.
Okay.
I tell him not to listen. I tell him to tell everyone to fuck off, because I really want him to be a vet if he wants to be a vet. Like if he really wants that, that's what I want for him. But we'll see. But because he loves animals, he has like always wanted a dog. And my parents have never gotten a dog. We like to travel. Like it just hasn't made a lot of sense. It's like not fair to the dog kind of thing, which is a very conscious decision by my parents. Yeah. But Alden just has always. I think it's like a regret of my parents, honestly, that they haven't gotten him a dog because like he's wanted one so bad. So from that, he's talked about like these wolf dogs. And they just breed a wolf with a dog. And it's pretty much a wolf, but like it has enough domestic in it.
So you can kind of
train it.
It won't kill you.
So Alden has this idea, right? We want to build like a log cabin together in New Hampshire when we're older and like go there for like a vacation spot for our families. It's a plan of ours. And he wants to own like, I don't know, 50 acres of land and then buy a fucking pack of wolf dogs and leave them up there.
No!
Yes!
Dude, you can't leave them up there.
It's a wolf.
No! Oh my god.
He wants to leave them up there.
If you buy them, you're responsible for what they do.
But listen, if they live in the middle of the woods...
Oh, dog, I don't know.
Picture a 50-acre fenced-in area.
Okay.
The dog.
How did deer get in there?
Well, dude,
you let them in.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like fenced in with like a way that the dogs stay in, but other animals can enter.
Okay.
We haven't thought through the logistics of this.
All right, I'm thinking of the logistics right now.
Yeah.
So I don't want to. Like kill your shine or anything like that. I think it's a good idea if you have somebody up there that can take care of them. Mm-hmm. Because if you let them run wild, then they'll go wild. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not going to love the fact that all of a sudden they can't kill a caribou. You just give them kibble, they're going to go, what the fuck?
Right.
That's going to piss them off.
Yeah.
What would happen if I gave you, like, granola instead of, like, a hearty-ass T-bone steak? You get kind of mad.
And
especially when I'm not around, you get to eat T-bone steak all the time.
Yeah, and when you're an animal, you can quickly forget.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I definitely think it wasn't like completely thought through, but just the idea is kind of interesting and funny of him like owning like 15 wolf dogs.
It is a badass idea.
Yeah, but it definitely probably wouldn't work out. But like that's the kind of thing. So like Alden instead of a dog has had like fish and then axolotls. Are you familiar?
Oh, those are fun. The blind lizards.
They're not blind, but they are nocturnal.
Eyes, right?
No, it does. It's a water lizard.
A salamander?
It's not a salamander. There's only
What?
one place where they live right now in the world, and it's on like a super elevated lake in Mexico. But they have all these breeded ones that they can buy, and they have these little antennas like this.
I've seen that.
They're cute.
The little ferns.
They're cute, and they're more cute when they're babies, and then they kind of get weird when they're older. But he has those, right? And so he like kind of likes those.
Okay.
And they're actually like they'll play with him a little bit. Like he'll put his finger and they'll follow his finger or whatever. So he kind of fuck with that. And then he got into like saltwater tanks. So he has like coral reefs, and like he had like. In its prime, it's kind of like died off now. He's in college and that kind of thing. But in its prime, he had like a full ecosystem where he had a clownfish with an anemone that it slept in. And listen to this. This is really cool. Okay, I'm glad we're talking about this. Clownfish are extremely intelligent.
Yeah.
It was a domestic clownfish. It didn't know what an anemone was. Alden taught the clownfish how to live in the anemone.
Shut the fuck up.
By showing him a picture of a clownfish in an
No. No.
Yes. How fucking cool
Are you
is
serious?
that? How cool is that?
Dude, that's gotta be preying on some kind of like primal instinct though.
It's just, you're thinking too hard. It's a fish who saw another fish in its environment.
What?
And then it mirrored it. How cool is that?
No, that's really bugging me out.
Listen to me. He held up his phone. The clownfish had nothing to do with the anemone. He held up his phone. He's got a light that is like $300 that replicates what the sunlight would do. And it has settings where a storm happens and all this crazy shit, right? So he's got the ecosystem built. He shows a picture to the clownfish. The clownfish swims up and looks at it. I'm not kidding. He looks at the picture. I watched him do this. And then the clownfish swims over to the anemone and like pokes it a little bit. It's like, okay, maybe I can do this. Okay? It gets better. It gets better. There's a goby fish. A goby...
What's a goby fish?
Shrimp. A goby shrimp, okay?
A goby shrimp.
Okay, I'm probably fucking this up. There's a little mutual ecosystem that revolves around a fish and a shrimp. The fish looks like a minnow. Like, it never really gets big, but it's like brown and white spots, right? It's blind. And then there's a shrimp. And I think the shrimp is called the goby, but the fish might be called the goby, whatever.
Okay.
The shrimp is attached to the fish. It lives on top of the fish.
Like a remora?
And it uses its antenna to move with the fish.
No!
So that the fish can see.
It's the sensory relay for the fish?
And not
two
only
questions.
that.
How does that work? But also, how the fuck do you know that?
Alden researches all this shit.
This is crazy.
It's so cool. This is living in a tank that's this big in his room. This amount of evolution and ecosystem and biology is just happening in his tank. So he's got all these rocks that he's purchased that used to be coral that are dead or whatever.
Okay.
And then he's got sand underneath them. And the shrimp digs tunnels under all of the rocks so that the fish can then attached to him stay in an ecosystem of tunnels that's below the rocks, below the coral.
Dude, okay, so what I'm trying to do right now is construct an architectural landscape of this in my brain. And this is fucking me up so much because the intelligent design of this, like, a truth that has permeated my whole life is that fish are fucking stupid and it's not, like, bad to hurt them. Right? Like, fishing, not a bad thing, because fish are so goddamn stupid.
I love fishing.
I don't really hunt because I think it's, like, a little bit fucked up, you know? Like, I don't think it's the best thing to just, like, go out and, like, kill deer or bears or anything like that. I don't think it's that ethical. Right?
Okay.
So, but fishing, I've never had a problem with. That just made me go, wait a second. Because that takes so much intelligence. Like, as humans, we engage in those kind of, like, structures all the time. That mutualism.
Yes.
We do
it's
that.
symbiotic. Is that the right word?
Yeah, symbiotic. I didn't think fish are capable.
It's amazing,
This is like
right?
a paradigm shift for me right now.
This is why Alden is cool, because he like, I always used to think it was cool, and now when I think about it, it's so much more cool than I thought it was. But he always knew how cool it was.
Right.
You know, and he's really smart. Like,
I believe that.
he is very smart, and like he understands, like, he really understands, like, just the way that animals like behave and the beauty in that, more so than most people, which is why I think he'd be a great vet.
Right.
But yeah, it's so cool. And so it's like that kind of thing. It's like, man, like, I go into his room and he's telling me, he's like, listen, man, like, the goby shrimp just dug a new hole, and then you see them both pop out together.
Right.
And like, oh, it's so cool.
That is sick. That is sick.
It's so cool.
Yeah. Yo, let me ask you something that's really, this is going to deviate a little bit from what you're talking about.
Okay.
So, my sister, she's like the same age as Alden about.
Mm-hmm.
But she's also one of those people where, like, she knows so deeply what she's into.
Mm.
Like, she gets all of these plants. Like, she's got a fucking garden in her room
So cool.
of all of these different kind of plants, and she knows, oh, this one needs medium sunlight, this one needs like an arid kind of like landscape, and you know, she's taking such good care of them. Like, do you ever feel sometimes where it's just like, oh, like, I'm the older sibling, I'm kind of like creating this umbrella between my parents and my sibling, where my younger sibling has gone so much deeper into a specific kind of like boxy passion. Do you get what I'm saying? Because like, I feel like I'm more like,
Elaborate more on the umbrella.
Kira knows so deeply like what she's into in like a quantitative like hobby.
Okay.
Whereas like, I feel like I need to broach things to my parents that aren't as obvious and make it acceptable. And then like, she's 2 years younger than me, so it's like, okay, it's gonna be easier for her down the road.
Yeah, because they're used to it. Ooh,
Right.
Wow, I think I actually do relate a lot to that.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you can't just be totally out of the box, because you need to make sure that like they're cool with it, and then you're like, all right, are all of these relationships balanced? Like, I know
Whoa.
you talked before about the fact that like you feel like in interpersonal relationships you like to be the mediator, and it's something you're really gifted at. You're really good at that. How much of that stems from the fact that it's like sandwiched in between a younger sibling who you care deeply for, and adults, your parents, who you care deeply for? Because that's how I feel a lot of the time.
Dude,
Like,
I think that's definitely, I've never thought about it like that, but that is like certainly a possibility that's likely. Like, I feel like you're saying, when I'm, yeah, like, okay, so here's an example. I came to this school as a phys ed teacher.
Yeah.
My mom and dad are both teachers. Your mom and dad are both teachers, which is funny. My grandparents on my dad's side are both teachers. My grandparents on my dad's side went to this school, and my parents went to this school.
Okay.
So it's like, and Alden has always been more skeptical of my parents, more thinking different than my parents, and more like, just like, I don't agree with
His
that,
own
Hale.
thing. His
Like,
own
I don't
thing,
agree
yeah.
with that, Hale. And I'm just like, well, dude, like, think about how they think about it. And like,
Yeah.
and he's been like, no, that's not how I want to think about it. Like, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a lot of sense. I almost feel like you're saying, like,
You're trying to be the tie between generations, or
like with the umbrella term, like, my parents are the rain and Alden is like what I'm trying to hold the umbrella over.
yeah.
But that's a little negative, just because I don't want to give the wrong tune to like what my parents are, because I think my parents are amazing. So
Yeah.
it's more like, my parents are the sun and I'm the sunblock, and like I just don't want all of them to get burned.
Yeah. Oh, that's really fucking good. Like, it's, dude, I don't know if you feel this way. Like, I'm sure it's different having a younger brother versus having a younger sister. But, like, I mean, I'm sure you feel this way with Alden. So many times I learned lessons that Kira imparts on me.
Yes.
But it's also like, I feel like I'm almost like a parent for her in a way. Where it's like, hey, we're both understanding that our parents are the best, but like, let me help you out. Like, you know.
I feel the pressure of that role as well.
Yeah.
But I also wouldn't trade that at all.
I wouldn't either, but I definitely feel like sometimes when I'm around her, I need to be more guarded.
Yeah, there's a weight
like,
to it.
Yeah, I can't just be like stupid.
Dude, I feel that.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like when I'm around Alden, I'm like yes, like you're saying, like I almost adopt a parenting role where it's like I'm just, not a lot, but a little bit towards the side of...
It's a tiny little bit of like, let's exercise caution.
Yeah, I was just going to say caution. Let's not do too much, because I'm scared about what would happen if we did too much.
Yeah.
I feel that. I feel that a lot, dude.
Isn't there like...
That's so cool, dude. I think some of the reason that we really converse so well is that we just have so many similarities.
I know. It's a lot of like the fact, obviously, like it's not the same thing, right? Like our parents, I'm sure, are very different, but it's like that broad similarity. Our siblings are not the same, but it's that broad similarity. Like, dude,
yeah,
you know what I just realized? Eldon and Kira, or Alden and Kira, need to fucking party together. We gotta bring everybody up at some point.
Or like smoke some weed together.
She's
Alden smokes like way more than me. That was sick.
What are the odds of that?
Dude, I almost knew you were gonna say that. Just because when I was saying it, I was like, imagine if he says the same thing as me, and then you did. That would be sick. They should talk.
Funny. Yeah.
They should smoke some weed.
Yeah.
Alden smokes way more than me.
We just gotta make that happen.
Okay.
She's going to...
Once COVID's over, bro.
Once COVID's over.
Like, where'd she go to school, you said?
ESF. It's like out near...
It's
on
New York school.
Syracuse. It's on Syracuse's campus.
That's where my boy Jack goes to school, Syracuse.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. That's a crazy school.
Yeah.
It's on their campus, you said?
It's on their campus. It's a college within the university. So it's all about, like, she's so passionate about, like, the whole, like, climate change stuff. So she hasn't figured out exactly what she wants to do, but she's getting, like, an education on it right now.
Cool. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, ESF is all about either you go there to be a park ranger or you go there to be, like, a climate lawyer or something like that. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Good for her, bro.
Yeah, it's inspiring. Like, that's...
Here's the answer to every person who says, that's not a degree. Here's the answer.
What's that?
Check this out, actually. There's something beautiful in this. Traditional people will say, art, geography, climate change, those aren't majors. You're not going to be successful, blah, 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 blah. Those same people believe in capitalism, and capitalism is the way that, like, people like your sister can be successful.
Right.
Think about this. If your sister starts something on social media, starts a company, starts an initiative, donates, stops pollution, blah, 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 all these different ways, her medium is... She's going to benefit from capitalism in her medium of working to create the world as a better, like, and not her medium, in her, like, pursuit of creating a better world. Capitalism in this country actually is going to help her with that because you have an ability to start your own business and be your own person. Now, capitalism, kind of a trigger word. I know there's a lot that comes with that word.
It's tough.
But what's ironic is the people who will tell her that she isn't in a real degree are also the people that believe in the thing that might help her to actually, like, maybe she's gonna be a lawyer, she doesn't need like, whatever. But I'm just saying, like, there are so many opportunities for her to be successful, and anyone who says that she can't be successful is wrong, because there are so many ways to win. And I think capitalism creates that. I'm not saying it's all good, but I think capitalism creates a lot of ways to win.
Okay. Did you send me the TikTok that was talking about capitalism versus socialism and its things and
The balance.
Yeah,
Was that
the
what it
whole
was about?
thing.
Yeah.
Well, it was the one where the dude was like, capitalism is not real. It's literally
Yeah, it's
just
a construct, right?
It's right. It's just
We
one
just created
person making something.
We oversimplified it.
We dug too fucking far in.
We're like,
So let's reframe this whole
whoa,
thing.
this is cool.
Capitalism is not this kind of reductionist thinking where, free hand, laissez-faire type thing. It's just one person making something, right?
Yeah.
This right here is socialism. It's a group of people making something, and we we assign all these extra fucking keywords to it,
Yeah.
and that's fucking stupid.
It is.
Because these are all natural human behaviors.
Yes.
And I mean, it shouldn't be I get what you're saying, the normal term of capitalism, it's it's going to benefit her in a personal sense because it's going to allow her to monetize something that she's good at. But that's not really I don't know. That's just her going out and being ambitious. And knowing her, she doesn't give a fuck if it gets monetized or not. She just wants to make a difference. And I think that's what we all want to do.
And that's what I'm saying is capitalism, this is what I think that gets taken away from capitalism is she just wants to make a difference.
Yeah.
But
she needs to be allowed to do that.
She needs to be allowed to do that, and capitalism is going to allow her to do that
Yes.
without even caring that she does it.
Right.
Right? Because if it was a completely communist state, she wouldn't be allowed to make that difference because there would be no way for her to support herself.
Yeah.
On that difference.
Dude, I will say, so this is why I don't know, you heard about Andrew Yang, right?
We've talked about it.
Yeah.
I don't know that much about it, but we've definitely talked about it.
Dude, the whole thing
UBI.
about universal basic income,
We talked about it in the first podcast.
amazing, because I think that it would help so many people, like my sister, like maybe Alden when he's trying to establish his first, I don't know if he's trying to do a private practice as
Probably.
a bit or what.
Yeah.
All of that kind of stuff, it allows people to dig so much deeper into what they really want. Let's fucking, if you're trying to, let's go down this rabbit hole real quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
I really am passionate about psychology, and I want to be doing therapy with guys aged 14 to 22, because 14 to 22, that's when we are the most fucked up. That's when we don't know who we are. We don't know where we want to go. We just want to fuck everything.
And we're like Play-Doh, bro.
Yeah.
We're so moldable. We mold to our environment. We're like
Yeah.
chameleons.
But it's crazy because it's we can take our whole identity and just go bang, 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 splash it on something new. I could put it on this elephant and it would fit, or I could pick it up and put it on this frog.
And it's that abstract too. It's that
Yeah.
rough around the edges. It's it's so untamed and uncut.
Right.
Yeah.
And you want to do something with business where you take all the fucking great ideas you have and make it into an entrepreneurial
Not an easy
endeavor.
word to say.
Not easy at all. Especially with how drunk I am. This is tough.
We're doing great.
Bandanas are on though.
Yeah, baby. They're not coming off.
They're not coming off.
Keep going.
So
This is a beautiful point.
I'm slightly losing it, but
Well, you're just saying I'm losing it too. No, I know what you mean. The experience of all of the things, like you're saying, there's a balance, right, between, I think that's the original point you had, is there's a balance between capitalism and socialism.
Yes. A balance between everything. So if we have all of these weird little ideas, it just so happens both of ours are monetizable, and our siblings' ideas are probably pretty monetizable.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
But dog, some people have ideas that could really change this world that are not monetizable at all.
I don't believe in that.
I don't think they're monetizable to a degree where they can live a healthy life. In order to live a healthy life, let's talk about something crazy real quick. We talked earlier, $25,000 for a year. You can't realistically live that safely on that.
I think
can't.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Like,
even on your own, that's not like you're probably not living the most healthy and happy lifestyle that you could.
You can't eat healthy. You can't afford a place that's going to give you all of the things that you might want to be comfortable. I mean, they define, as of right now, right? The U.S. Census Bureau defines anything less than $73,000 as lower class.
Yeah.
Do you know how fucking hard it is to make $73,000 annual household income? That is nuts. Or I'm sorry. Below that is considered working class.
Working, okay.
But then above 73 is like upper middle.
Okay. That makes sense.
But dude,
that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
For one person, it's a lot of money. For 4 people, it's basically no money. But for one person, it's a lot. Yeah, I know, and that's the thing, Nate. It's like, maybe we need to, like, this is what we were saying earlier, like, let's try it out. Maybe UBI is, like, the way to go. Like, as long as everyone's still driven to be better, that's I think what the biggest advantage of capitalism is. Here's biggest pro, biggest con.
Yeah.
Biggest pro, everyone is driven to be better.
Yes.
Biggest con, everyone only cares about themselves.
I think it goes deeper than that. Not only is it that, but it's also the risks within a fully capitalist society are massive.
Okay.
Because you don't have somebody to be there for your safety net, right? And that's what UBI could be. So, like, what happens if, like, I play Dungeons and Dragons a lot. What if I want to be like, oh, I'm filthy at writing Dungeons and Dragons adventures. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
And what if I'm amazing at it? What if I'm a prodigy? What if I can revolutionize the community that plays that game? I'm never gonna do that because I can't monetize that. And that's my
bullshit.
View. Well, that's my view. And there's some people that are going to go out there and they're going to work for Wizards of the Coast and they're going to get some kind of paycheck and it's probably not going to be that consistent. But again, this is also only a very, 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 very small percentage of the population.
Sure.
This is the same way that you have some people going pro in certain sports. Like,
this is what we were talking about when we lost it. Because I know what I was going to say to you saying that.
Okay.
I didn't mean to say bullshit in the way that I'm dismissing how you feel.
No. You're good on that. I just think I know what you mean.
What I mean is, like, dude, I'm telling you, and this is what I try to tell my parents.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about this before. It's like, bro, the internet is the great equalizer.
It is and it isn't.
I'm telling you it is.
No. At the beginning it was. At the beginning it was.
It still is.
It's becoming corporatized so quickly.
Okay, sure. You're right, but there's still time. Listen to me. This kid, here's an example. I watched this motherfucking kid go fishing on YouTube. John B, Perrick, Lunkers, fucking these are the boys. It's called the Guggen Squad. Okay. They started a fishing brand on YouTube. Listen to me, man. I'm telling you, this is real. Okay? This is real. Some fucking kid named John B, when he was 12 years old, started recording himself fishing and putting it on YouTube. By the time he was 20, dude, he's a millionaire. He's 25 now. He has all of the money in the world. Yes, he got sponsored. Bang. MTV, or what is it? No, not MTV. Sorry, that was completely out of the blue. There's like a brand that sells monthly subscriptions to fishing gear that you get in the mail.
Okay.
They sponsored a house for the Guggen Squad to live in Texas.
Oh, that's
it's
sick.
A 10-bedroom house with a garage and a backyard, and these kids go and make content on YouTube.
Dog, but
this is what I mean, Nate. I'm telling you.
You know what we're talking about right now, though. This is the capitalist effect of the 1% of people who do get into something and they succeed. This is a great success story for somebody who got in so early with fishing. But we're not looking at the 99% of other people who want to make it big with fishing, who are really trying hard. They're probably putting out better content. We just don't fucking know about them because they didn't get that lucky break. And that is what capitalism is all about. Sometimes people get that lucky break, and I think it's an important system. I think it helps us in a lot of ways, and I think it's necessary if we're gonna have like growth and shit. It has so many problems. Like my big issue is like, I'm sorry, I don't want to rant here.
Dude, you're good. We are. Listen, we both respect each other's opinions.
Right.
I respect everything you're saying, and I'm listening. I'm listening to you.
Okay.
Okay? Keep going. You're good.
I feel like there are so many people who come from such disadvantaged like backgrounds where they don't have the infrastructure to just be able to go, oh, I'm going to succeed off of this thing. Like, let's think about the fact that like we're just starting this podcast now. Let's say we were Instagram famous beforehand. If we were Instagram famous beforehand, we would easily
It'd be nothing.
We just go, hey, we got a podcast now. Suddenly we have like 30,000 views and shit.
Right.
Right, but we're not doing that.
But we would have been Instagram famous for some other reason, and that would have started from something else.
Would we? Or would we have just gotten lucky? Because sometimes people just get lucky on shit.
Here's the thing,
and
though.
What?
Like, this is my thing about luck. If you looked John B, because we're just talking about him, if you said, what's up, John B, you got lucky, he would laugh. Because, Nate, John B has been making YouTube videos with nobody watching them since he was 12.
But, dude...
You make your own luck.
But
this
is
what I think.
Hold on. That's
you
the
make
thing,
your own
though.
luck, dude. If you put all your energy into one thing for a long enough time... Now, here's where I agree with you.
Okay.
People need help.
Yeah.
People who don't have a camera at 12 years old to make a fishing video, they need help. People who can't afford to spend all their time on a YouTube craft because their parents are putting them through college, they need help. I am with you on that.
But how many other John B's do you think there are? Because out of, like, you just named
there's no more. No, there's no more.
Population.
There's like 6, so that's it.
You don't think that there's other people like John B that are...
Hundreds, but the ones who made it. And that's to your point. The ones who made it are 8. But there is a medium in between making it big and making it almost big. And some people have money coming in. Like, if we did this podcast for a year, I think we could make some money. Yeah. But we wouldn't be making big money, Joe Rogan money, right? So this is where I think communism helps. Where communism stops, or where communism lacks, is reaching your hand out. You don't, and we've talked about this before, I've said this before, you do not get to benefit from helping others in communism most of the time. You don't get to say, like...
Well, we're not talking about communism, we're talking about like socialism.
Oh, my bad. No, I meant capitalism, sorry. Capitalism, you don't get to benefit that much when you hand somebody else money or... Right? So that's the problem. So it's like, okay, here's John B, here's the fishing guys that me and my friends all love and watch. They made it. Probably nobody else is going to make it because they made it first.
Right.
That's where it's unfair. That's where we need to help. But I really also think that there's serious value in saying to somebody, I made my own luck, and if you love Dungeons and Dragons, and there isn't somebody, and I guarantee you there is, who has 1 million subscribers on YouTube talking about Dungeons and Dragons, they won, dude. Yeah. And this is where you have to reframe, because this is something with communism and with... I oftentimes like cross the lines between communism and like speaking things into existence, which I know is like almost like a it's like a, what's it called? Like a psychology thing and like a economy thing.
Like a manifestation thing?
Okay, so we're talking about manifestation, right? I connect that with communism, which maybe that's my bad, like maybe those things shouldn't be tied, but like...
What do you mean by that? Like you... Do you mean communism or capitalism?
Oh, I keep saying that, bro. Fuck.
Okay, I'm just
making sure. It's the beer. Okay. So it's
good.
Capitalism, like when you manifest things and you like pursue a dream, that's the American dream. That's like capitalism in a way.
Dog, dude, don't even fucking start with the American dream because that's such a lie. I'm sorry, but that gets me so mad.
Okay.
The American dream is a fucking lie right now. I totally get
Couldn't
what you're
disagree
saying.
more.
It's a fact. We don't have social mobility in this country. As of right now, we don't have social mobility. And it's not because of anybody's fault. It's just because of the way that the world's moving right now.
Well, listen, I think we could place the blame on capitalism.
I don't even think it's capitalism. I think it's independent greed. I think
that's what capitalism brings, though.
But I'm agreeing with you in that I think capitalism has so many beautiful advantages. It makes us want to strive to be the best version of ourselves. It introduces competition that makes us want to introduce new kinds of innovation. It's what made us create electricity. We made the fucking truck. We made nuclear energy. Like, it's what is going to allow us to beat climate change. Socialism, I don't think is going to do that. I think capitalist forces are going to allow us to become the best version of ourselves. The problem is we need some kind of socialism worked in there. And it's fucking craziness to say we need a fully socialist society or we need a fully capitalist society.
Agreed, we both agree.
It just couldn't work.
No,
because
I agree.
if you have if everybody's getting just money doled out to them, nobody's gonna make anything. But
they're not gonna care.
Right, but if we have a system where it's like, look, everybody can live comfortably, and this is my whole thing. Like, America's supposed to be the greatest country in the world. We're super rich. Then why the fuck do I look 15 minutes away from my home and I see somebody who's supposed to be like my brother, another American, who is struggling to feed his children? That shit makes me want to cry. That shit makes me like stay awake at night and makes me go, what am I doing? Like, I'm going into a selfish thing by saying I want to be a therapist and like, yeah, I guess I'm kind of helping my community, but also like I'm making money only for myself. Like, that shit makes me feel gross.
I feel like you're making money not because you want to make money, but because you're helping people and people put value into that help. You got to reframe it, man. Here's the thing. It's like the second that you start making money evil, like money shouldn't
evil.
I don't think it should be evil. I don't think it should be the source of pure good. It's got to be. There's nothing wrong with making money if you're adding value. This is and not to like patronize you. I'm just saying, like, from an economic standpoint, like, money follows value. So when there's value in something in a market, money follows, right? So it's like where I think we really agree, and this is something I've always said, is like, people really need help.
Yeah.
People who you're saying, your fucking brother 15 minutes down the road who can't feed his family, that guy needs help. But I think there's a piece that allows us to be better people that is tied to the harsh reality of not the world. It cannot always be fair, and we have to work for what we want. But I also think some of the hardest working people have no money.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily think that's their fault.
Right.
But even if it's not their fault, and this is something else, even if it's not their fault that they worked way harder and they have less money, okay, maybe that's our education system failing them. Maybe that's this, and that.
Dude,
Guess what?
It's a lot of things.
Here's what we have to do. We have to pair people who know what's up, they have to help, and the people who don't know what's up have to admit it and be like, I need your help. Because a lot of people won't take help. They don't. They would rather be stubborn, and you know what I mean?
I know implicitly, I understand what you mean, and this is hurting me to my core, because it's people who don't have the education to understand the fact that they are disadvantaged.
Yeah.
Or some people that is the case, but it's other people who don't have the education to understand that other people are less advantaged than them.
And there's no end in sight.
And because you don't have that, if you don't have that basic awareness, how the fuck are you going to be aware that your ego's getting in the way? Dude, that shit bums me out more than anything else. I have gone into so many depressive episodes where I sit in my room for hours and hours and hours on end. And it's not because of anything that I've done. It's not because of any shortcoming that I have. It's because I look at other people and I go, you can't be good to your neighbor. And I put in so much fucking effort and patience, and I know so many amazing people like you and everybody in your house and so many of the people I've met at this college who try to put in effort, and it doesn't change them, and that shit keeps me up at night. That shit makes me so bothered. Like, dude, at the heart of every cynic is a disappointed idealist, and that's what I feel like I am. I know how amazing human beings can be. At the heart of us, we are so empathetic, and we have such high hopes, and we have so much potential to do amazing things. But then greed gets in the way, and personal ambition, and all of these things that could be good.
I agree with you. I think we actually just argued while agreeing with each other for the whole time we were arguing.
I know.
But it's a different way to look at it, man.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get what you're saying. Like, I actually really, truly do believe what you're saying.
I know you do.
And it's just like, it's hard to find the balance, man. It's like you're saying, like, there's all these benefits to capitalism, but it's like, okay, well, where do the benefits stop? And how do we, counterbalance those negatives? Because it's like, all this shit, it's like, man.
Smarter people than us need to figure
way
it out.
smarter, dude.
Yeah.
Way smarter, and they will. I believe they will. I'm optimistic about that. And it's just like, here's what I think, right? Here's my message to anybody who has the power to make a difference. And I think
it's all of you, by the way. It's all of you.
Everyone has the power to make a difference.
Yeah.
And I think it's time wasted if you don't.
Yes.
And that's a weight that you should carry on your shoulders. If you have the power to make a difference and you're not, you should feel guilty about that.
Yeah.
Because the world, or fuck the world, one person might need you to be making that difference.
Oh, I love that so much.
So,
I love that so much.
And to those people who are wondering if they're doing enough, because I wonder every day if I'm doing enough, and I know I'm not, let's make a pact to help the people who need help the most. You see somebody and you say, why don't I give that person some love? Even though I know there's this many things wrong with them, fuck that. They're a beautiful person. Let me give them some love. Let me go to all of these different people and say, listen, man, like, and this is so easy to talk about and so hard to do.
I know.
And I don't want to seem fake while I'm saying this, because every person has a struggle where they know the best person that they could be, and they're not fulfilling that. So like, there's this book that I read called Drew Dudley. It's a Drew Dudley book. I think it's his first book that he wrote. I can't remember the name of it right now. It's a leadership book, and he talks about what, like, he gets in a situation and he's like, what would the person who I want to be do in this situation?
Oh,
that'll make
really
you
good,
think.
Dude.
That'll make you think, and it's like, fuck, man, what would the person who I want to be do in this situation? I'm in line, some asshole cuts me. What you talked about earlier.
Yeah.
The person who I want to be would say, maybe that kid's really hungry.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't get enough food today. Maybe he can't afford to go to Walmart and get snacks.
Right.
Let him get food first. I'm good. You know?
Yeah.
And that action of being consciously aware of other people's needs, and then not only being aware of, it's not enough to just notice. You have to give.
Right.
It's like, let me give to you. And so reach your hand out. Fucking you and me, dude, we have privilege.
100%.
I'm not ashamed of that. I don't want anyone to be ashamed of the privilege they have, but you have to recognize it. And if you don't recognize it, then you should be ashamed. Right? So you and me are sitting here talking on a podcast, and I'll be damned if we don't reach out and say, dude, like, what can we do? How can we? It's not like someone's lower than us and we're reaching our hand down. It's someone across the table.
Yeah.
You're a person, I'm a person, and for whatever reason, the way that society is right now, we're in a better spot than you. How can we help? Let me help you. And that's what I wanted to talk about in this podcast too. I know I'm rambling right now.
No, you're good.
I'm sorry if I'm talking way too much, but like,
this is stream of consciousness that we need.
I think so. And I want to start a company, a nonprofit, which might make you happy that I just said nonprofit. I feel like taking the money out of it is important. Not that you don't get a salary as a nonprofit employee, you do, but it's just not driven for the same reason. Exactly. It's a fundraising thing, and I think there's something beautiful in that.
There's a humanitarian focus
it's
to it.
Almost the divide between communism and or capitalism and socialism. It's almost that.
Dude, there is no divide. It's all a part of one system. Do we want to succeed or do we want to fall? If we want to succeed, let's find the mix.
We have to find the balance. Well, that's what I mean. It's the balance. Yes, and I think we agree.
Yin yang. It's the economy. Like all of that.
It's everything.
You need that holy number of two.
And dude, that's why I want to start a nonprofit, and I want to go around and start solving problems. This is one of the things I want to talk about in this podcast, and I think we should wrap it up soonish because we've been going for a while.
Yes, we have. Yeah.
But we can talk about this next time. But I want to start a company that goes around with massive divisions of thousands of people, and 1,000 people solves this problem. Hudson River. It's disgusting.
Make that shit not green.
Homelessness in Los Angeles. Don't you think we could figure that shit out? Don't you think there's enough intelligent people to figure that shit out? Yes. Now, the government gets in the way, the state gets in the way, everything gets in the way. But bro, I'm telling you, I think that's a beautiful idea for a business that just solves problems. Why can't we do that? And bro, like the government should help us.
It's a lot of money, man.
It's a lot of money, but dude, do you know how much money there is? Let me say what's up to Zuck. He's got a couple beans to throw at the project, dude. I'm telling you, you take the government and you lobby and you fight for legislation, and then you take the 1% and you fight for their money, and then all of a sudden, bro, the powers of both are coming in. I think that's a viable way to run a business, and I think it's a way that could really change the country.
I think it could.
That's what really fires me up.
We need more people to think more passionately. We need more people
and empathetically.
Yes, more empathetically. Dude.
That was a really long rant, man. I'm sorry.
You're good, though. Yeah. Because it's inspired less people to be blissfully unaware. Like, thank you for tuning in, guys.
Yeah.
This has been a trip.
Like, honestly, thank you so much for listening.
I think we made it here.
Yeah.
Episode 3.
We're out, bro. We're outie. That's the end, bro. Go home. Go to sleep. Good night.